How's it guys? Welcome back to another Capestance vlog, and today we're introducing my 2002 BMW E46 M3. We're going to take this thing for a little drive, and while we're driving I'm going to have a chat with you guys, and I want to give you a background of why a E46 M3 and how it came into my possession. And then after that we're going to stop at Capestance Plumstead and give a walk around in the car, show you guys the current state and things I'm going to get done. E46 M3, they came out in 2000 to 2006, and during that time it was rated as the best engine of the year for a few years running, and most possibly still the best straight six ever made. And I was basically in matric in high school through that period, and I was in matric in 2006, and you know, this was basically brand new in that era. And you know, when you're in high school and you're chatting with your friends, or someone's father has an M3 that's coming to pick them up at school, you literally idolize and fantasize about these cars. And the E46 M3 is my obtainable dream car, and last year in April 2024 I finally managed to purchase one, which is this one. And it's a little bit of a project. I couldn't afford a clean one, but I needed a good base, a car that I could see I'm going to be able to get it to a clean state, and this was that car. The previous owner, it was one of the main reasons why I was interested in the car. He told me that he does long distance and he wanted the car to be mechanically sound. However, the car was neglected on the exterior, and that's how it came to me, because at our Capestance Ottery branch, this guy was a client of ours, and he needed the sunburn on the damage to be polished up, and he wanted the rest of the car to be polished up because it was advertised, and he wasn't really getting any buyers because the bonnet and the fenders and the front, besides the sunburn, the stone chips also, because he does long distance, he went to Mossel Bay like at least once a week with the car, was quite bad. And so during his sale, because he wanted to, I think, get a family vehicle or something, it was on for probably a few months. No one wanted to buy it, and when it came to us, I advised him on let's do a full detail on the car, a mild paint correction on the bonnet, and then a ceramic coating to bring up the shine, and also to protect the paint, and to remove out the dents. So we did PDR, paintless dent removal on the dents, just to make the car look a little straighter. He had Laminix on the inner reverse lights, or on the inners of the tail lights, and just all those things were like aged and started to look a bit tacky. So we cleaned up the car and made things a little bit more presentable. And when the car like the E46 comes there, and something I love, I kind of like treat it like my own, and in the sense of like what I would want to do. Like I suggested those things, and the client was happy to proceed. And at this time, I didn't have the money to. This was probably December 2023 or November 2023, and I didn't have the money. And I was like, I was thinking if I could try and see if the car is going to be still in his possession, come up with the funds, sell a few things, and get it from him. And after 2 months, I still didn't have enough, and I was like, okay, I've lost it. And then after we detailed it and handed back to the client, I still kept his number. And then in January, he messaged me again. He said, he took another trip to Mossel Bay, and he drove in tar, and it's like tar up the entire side, and we need to like clean it up. So we clay barred the tar, removed it off, and we removed the tar off from the wheel wells, cleaned up, and then waxed it again, and it was ready for him. This time I was a little bit closer to the amount, and I basically negotiated the shortfall of what of the funds to see if I can get it to come down. and he actually agreed. So I was like, wow, this thing is happening. And after a week, I think he had to sort out a few things and something else. Oh yeah, he was working, I was working as well, and then we met up on the weekend. We did the deal, and I purchased my first E46 M3. And yeah, when it's, you know, your dream car and something that you really love, well, for me, and I'm a perfectionist, I wanted the reveal to be perfect on the YouTube channel. And you can understand it's basically March 2024 now. It's almost a year. It's like 10 months that I've owned the car. I've shot the car like 3 or 4 times, and I just felt like the reveal, that what I did then wasn't living up to my expectations and my picture of what I wanted to portray the car as. And yeah, as well as OTF 24 happened, which didn't allow me to really film and vlog as much as I want to, because there was so much pressure to get so many things done. And I thought, okay, yeah, I actually had a few things done in that time. So the main irritating thing that I experienced with the car when I got it was the knocking noise on the front suspension, which was the previous owner told me it was the steering rack, and I actually replaced the steering rack twice and the noise was still there. So this led me to Yusuf from MIH, which is the sponsor of today's vlog, and he's someone that really brought this car together. We did a full service on the car, oils, lubricants, and except for the brake fluid, filters, all of those things. And when the car was by him, he picked up 2 things: the driver's side front control arm. By the firewall, there's 2 bolts that hold it to the chassis, and 1 bolt was off, and it looked like it was a little bit loose, so literally the control arm could have fallen out. That was one thing. So we sent it to him. We thought that was the knocking noise. He got the bolt actually snapped off for some reason. He got someone to drill it out, put the new bolt in, and he's like, the car's ready to collect. It's been serviced, and you know, the bolt sorted. I got collected from him. The knocking noise is still there, and I'm like, yo bro, we need to sort this thing out. Like, you need to find out where it is. I went through 3 steering racks, and it's still there. We pull into his garage, and presses on the frame, and he starts hearing the sound. That's knocking noise. Lays underneath and sees the sway bar is loose, and all it literally was for the last like 9 to 10 months was a loose sway bar. He tightened the sway bar up, we went around the block, and the noise was gone. It was like literally, I was so irritated because I actually was misled by the previous owner to making me believe that it was the steering rack, and went through 3 steering racks and all that labor just to end up not being the problem. So the lesson there is, don't listen to the previous owners about what they think the problem is, because they're not the mechanics. And I thought maybe he had a mechanic look at it, and you know, I diagnosed the whole thing. But yeah, unless it was a bad mechanic, it wasn't checked out properly. So now that that's sorted and the car's serviced, the car is running amazing. And now that all of that's done, I'm actually really enjoying the car, and that's why I feel a little bit more comfortable in vlogging the car. Because it's a, you know, obtainable dream car, I didn't want to really show it in its bad state, but I actually, looking back now, I feel like that should have actually been part of the whole vlog and the journey. But anyways, you know, we live and we learn. So now, give you guys a bit of an update on what the mods and the options of the car. This car is a 2002 SMG 2 S54 engine, and it's got Sorry guys, battery died on the camera. Ooh. So, spec list on the car. It's basically, I think, like a professional model E46 M3. It's got the navigation with the TV. You can put the TV on. And it's got the BMW phone. And yeah, this is, you can put a SIM card in and it might still work. But because of the cell phone being there, you don't get cup holders, so it's been a big problem driving the car and having drinks in the car. And what else is there? Sunroof option. Okay, in the 46s, there wasn't really a carbon fiber option. Another cool option, I think it's standard, is fold collapsible rear seats, so you can get access through to the back. And it's got xenons. So from 2000 to 2002, xenons were like an optional extra. It's like basically the pre-LCI. And then after 2003 to 2006, the xenons and LCI taillights were standard. So on this car, this guy picked the xenons because of the O2 with xenons. So SMG, that's one of the things that's been interesting to learn. There's a lot of small quirks that requires adjusting and learning. But once you get used to it, you realize that this is quite cool. So the one thing that the SMG box is like known for is that it gets like quite a loud thud on the rear diff and the bushes, and also many people complain about the changes being very clunky and not very smooth. But this previous owner did CSL software on it, and I'm thoroughly enjoying the experience with it. Like if you put this thing into automatic, put the velocity on the box to like speed 2, setting 2, you can just cruise. And this is obviously ideal for content creators because I can talk to you guys and not worry about having to change gears. And also when I'm coming home from work, I don't have to worry about if I'm going to hit traffic or not, because previously I've driven my dad's E46 M3 back in the day and he had a manual, and when I used to drive in traffic, the clutch pedal was so heavy, it was really a pain in the ass. It was quite pleasurable to drive. And other mods the previous owner did, there is heated front springs, OEM springs that's heated in the front. The rears are standard. The exhaust, it's got a single box rear exhaust with no cats in, but the car sounds pretty nice. I'm actually going to go straight here. Give you guys some exhaust noise. And he put on a bubble tune, Cat Pops and Bangs. I don't know how I feel about it. Give me like comment down below. Like, I don't feel like the E46 should be doing this. And they say that the pops and bangs are actually bad for your engine because it's overloading the fuel, and the explosions that happen can explode back into the chamber and burn the valves. So I don't actually want that to happen with this car, with this S54 engine. Valves on this thing is definitely not going to be cheap. And yeah, what else? So we're using liquid moly oils. What oils? Used it from MOH for the threw in liquid moly oil and coolant. We're using BMW coolant. So these cars, obviously, all the lubricants are extremely important for the longevity of the engine. The main thing that with these cars, there are three main things, and this is like what I want to get to, and we'll go more into detail with the S54 and the E46 M3 on the channel. We're going to go through the experience and like living with the E46 M3, what it's like. I mean, before I bought this, I was very, should I say, not traumatized because I didn't experience the trauma yet, but like afraid of the possible costs of maintenance and like, you know, what can go wrong and all those kind of things. And the big three is something that's commonly known to all E46 owners. It's the bearings, the rear subframe, and the vanos. So the vanos is obviously variable valve timing for the engine, and that unit can fail, will cause the car to rev like it's got a cam in, or like I don't know what other problems can go wrong like when it's wrong. And the rear subframe is something I haven't addressed yet. The rear subframe with these cars, because of the material that they use on the chassis, this rear subframe can literally tear away from the chassis and or tear the chassis apart, and will cause the car to drive weird and just obviously damage the car. So before you start wounding it and really driving it like an animal, you need to make sure that the rear subframe is reinforced. So they make like strut towers. You can have like a strut bar, but it needs to bolt into the chassis as well as on the chassis towers, and that will protect your car from tearing itself apart. And the most important one are the big end bearings. That's like common on these cars. After 100,000 k's you need to change it. And this car is on 209,000 kilometers. I bought it on 205,000, and so like in 10 months I only did like 4,000 k's. And some traffic. So the previous owner did the bearings at 177, you can say basically 180,000 k's. So we're about 30,000 k's into that, and at probably again 270,000, around probably 270, say I'll keep it safe, maybe 260,000 kilometers, we'll have to do the bearings again, just to make sure that, you know, we don't have any crank issues. But yeah, we are now approaching at Capestance, Plumstead, and I'm gonna give you guys a walk around on the car, show you guys what the car looks like on the outside and what I did to it. So like I said, they had sunburn and sun damage. I resprayed the front end and I resprayed the back bumper, but it's not a perfect job because the color isn't matched. And the reason why I don't worry about it being a perfect job is because I'm basically gonna respray the entire car. So when you switch your car off, you can't leave it in neutral, or else it's gonna make like a buzzing noise. You have to put it into gear. So I had the front resprayed, and I basically need to respray the entire car because there's different areas where the car has different colors, and there's like some, you know, damages that needs to be repaired. And the rubbers, because it's a 2002 car, the rubbers on the exterior are perished, like under the back windows. I'll show you all of that now. Okay, so just gonna have the car washed quick so that it's nice and fresh when I show you guys the outside. gonna find a location to show you guys, because yeah, it's a bit busy and windy. Greet the guys. Okay, found a spot. We are coming to Chaka Road Fields. Yeah, the rev match by itself. It's part of the software this guy has on here. Okay. Nice. Sun's almost at a good point. Let's get out here, show you guys what the outside looks like. Okay, so let's have a look around. So the car was completely standard when I got it, and I added on that front lip. When we sprayed the whole front, we sprayed the fenders, bonnet, front bumper, the lip, this fender, and both mirrors, as well as, let's go around this way, the back bumper was sprayed. Okay, and also I bought a rear diffuser, got that from Nia's X Mods. But let's see here, this is a aftermarket exhaust, and when we fitted the diffuser, it aggravated how bad the spacing is. So you can see here, there you can see the tips, there you can hardly see the tips, and that needs to be sorted out and redone. And what else? So this one, I'm not sure if all of them are spec with this. It's got the rear blind, and the big noticeable thing on the side, the wheels. I got this car with the standard 18-inch wheels, and thanks to my good friend Fayaz Sakot, he got the 19-inch diamond cuts, and after about say 8 months of looking, managed to get the set, and this really just makes this car pop. Okay, so with the front spray job, you can see this fender and the door doesn't match. That's my only real gripe at the moment, but as you can see, the paintwork isn't in the best condition. You can check the cracks on the skirt, and there's a chip over here, and this is what I was saying, this rubbers, check here, the rubber is so badly perished. And as well as this thing, you can check this window cowl, you can check all of the little perished thing. So yeah, for the most part, she's in a very decent state, presentable, she's photogenic, not perfect, but I'm happy with her as she is. Okay, so that's the exterior. Now the interior, noticeable changes. Fitted the Recaro CS thanks to Adnan ATL. Also, the roof liner was sagging, so I had the A-pillars and the roof liner done, as well as the black trims. These were all wrapped in black. So, and this thing was it was grey here, and I think a wood on the dash. So what I did was made it all black, and they were sprayed by Adnan from ATL. The chrome was peeling over here. I had that sprayed black, so that also looked decent. This was the normal chipping, like over here with this plastic of the BMW. The material comes off so we had the sprayed black to make it look nice. And I didn't do this one yet because I'm basically going to remove this part and fit the cup holders, and maybe when I do that we'll tidy up this area. And I need to source the switch. I've tried 2 switches already before, didn't work, so that's one of the next things, the switch here. Oh, and this console, if you take this cable tie off, it just lifts up the whole time. So I need to get this console, cup holders, switch, and let's show you guys the engine bay. Wait, I just need to show you guys. Let's get this thing started first. So you can see it's in reverse at the moment, and won't start unless you pop it over into neutral. Okay. So even though the bonnet's sprayed, you can still see some dents. Okay, this is the star of the show. It's getting quite windy now. So the only things missing here is, I think this is a cruise control console unit module. You need to put the cover on there, and then there's a rubber that comes along here. That rubber is missing, but other than that everything is there and she's complete. Okay guys, to wrap it up, I'll give you guys some revs. I'll put the microphone in front and then some at the back, so you can hear maybe engine noises as well as the exhaust noises. Oh, one other thing, this boot only works with the remote. It doesn't work with the little latch button in the front. Another thing to fix. Okay, let's start it up. Okay, temperature's good. Whew. Yes. Okay. Now let's go to the front. I'm gonna put my microphone over here. Scary to rev it over 6,000. I just did it under 6. Okay guys, that's it for today's vlog. The idea with this car is to give you guys some insight on what's it like to own a E46 M3, living with a S54, because these cars are like notorious for, you know, expensive and high maintenance builds. So in the last 10 months I haven't had any serious issues because the big end bearings was already sorted. I've also been babying and nursing the car not nursing, but like I haven't been doing any burnouts or donuts because of the rear subframe hasn't been reinforced or done to my knowledge. And if you do burnout and donuts, that obviously can tear it. So I hope you guys enjoy the little rundown of the E46 M3 and all the things that has been done and still to be done. Definitely going to, you know, tackle all of these things and clean the car up. And so all of that you'll see on the channel. Ooh. So make sure you guys like and subscribe and stay up to date with the progress on the E46 M3.